Yeah, the real big woman. With she, you could never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van to she. You can put the color. She tell me free smart, free better. Get your own damn place so you prefer every day. Every wife of the sign up letter. NHT, them a reagent setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. The son just on table in December. And she look construction push. She will build your house for you and you get the well rendered. Baby, she a the real big woman. With she, you could never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van to she. You can put a car and miss the and the real big woman. With she, you could never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van to she. You can put a car and she now start it and left you there. Me and tell your brother, yes, she well prepared. And if you're meeting no farmer bangarang, she give you lawyer, brother, fear your fear. She are the best RSD agent. She help the need if you stop fear rent. They don't care about mind them, just give me strength by steel and gravel and black and cement house. Now me house that I build up on the ivy and save some money gone up in the sky from. Baby Claudia, me say me nah lie, man. Have money and me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life, say me son him have to fly so. Hypocrite fear gone how we die. And you can't stop Claudia Davis, don't try. Every day another house gone Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. With she, you could never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van through she. You can put a car and Miss Day are the real big woman. With she, you could never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van through she. You can put a car and yeah man, you know. Claudia Davis, pick up yourself. That's the like, subscribe, and share. Claudia Davis, can get your house anywhere. Just be prepared without no fear.
Mom, we're live.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Let's see who's on the chat.
Who's on the chat?
Janice Robinson. Hi, Janice. Good morning.
Morning. Welcome back, everybody. Well, welcome back to Claudia. Welcome back. A lot of persons probably don't know that we have gone back on live. So they're just gonna sleep through the time.
Probably. Only those who probably normally up will be up.
You're right.
One Ham says good morning as well.
For some reason I'm not seeing all of my reading glasses. I have to be close enough to cancel the chat.
Let's see if I can help you a little.
I think that screen should have been over here.
How's this? That's better? Okay.
Good morning, Janice. Thank you. Good to be back. One Ham, good morning.
Mom, so how was your Saturday?
When yesterday? Rough. I don't know people do outdoor events for a living. Outdoor events are the roughest thing ever. But they're rewarding though. You get to meet, the people.
We're at the NHT Expo.
Right. So we were there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And the expo actually started at 10 a.m.
and finished at 7.
Right. So we had a long 12 hours. Not a passive 12 hours, I had an active 12 hours. We just had people after people. Well, we had good scouts, put it that way. Some of the booths are so empty. But we had good scouts. So we had Latoya and we had Rambo.
Rambo had his sign pointing them to our booth.
Right.
And then Latoya was there telling them about thousands of times.
Right. So she went into the field, as we would say. and recruited the people and pointed them to us, which was a very good strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to use that strategy more, Tony. It's such a good strategy. Yeah. Get out in the field. Both so Rambo had a sign. So that was, he didn't really do much talking. So that was more of a kind of marketing, you call that. Right? Signage.
Yeah, it's signage.
Right?
Visual.
Right?
It had an arrow on it, so it showed them where to go.
Right. But she actually was in the field talking.
No, she carried them.
Yeah, literally walked them to the booth. That was so good. It was a game changer for us, really.
Mm-hmm.
So we interacted with more than I had. How many hearings I had? About 200.
Yeah, you had 200.
Yeah, and all of them went. So I interacted more than 200. And Tony had hearings. Well, some of Tony's hearings came back.
Right, I only had about 100 hearings.
Right. So we spoke to more than 200 persons. My gosh, it was just a lot.
I'm surprised we haven't lost our voices.
I have. Because I was a lot of talking. You were more uploading persons to the system.
Yeah. But it's funny, like before you came, I was doing the talking and Rachel was uploading to the system.
Right.
So it kind of switched out.
Yeah, but I can't tell you, it was a rewarding event, and they had other things like the solar people and all that I didn't even get to go talk to.
We didn't get to go to any of the booths because we couldn't leave our booth.
Right.
I mean, the only time we left was probably bathroom breaks.
Mm-hmm. We couldn't, but they had a whole lot of resources there that you could have tapped into.
Right, especially if you're unaware of NHT.
Mm-hmm.
Just being there on the day, you could have accessed information about your contribution refunds,
mm-hmm.
and the points for the older persons,
mm-hmm.
And even to find out how to get onto NHT system to get that pre-approval letter.
Mm-hmm. And how to get more of the NHT than what's on the surface. Because now you can interact, right,
mm-hmm.
with the NHT people on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good.
The funny thing is, like, I helped one person get onto the portal, and then they started sending people to me. Because it was early and I wasn't really getting any traction from people wanting to buy Palestine, but people were wanting to know about the eligibility letter and those things. So I was helping persons get on the portal before we really started.
Yeah, it was really, really good. For NHT though, I think you need to have that more often though. You either need to have it every quarter or every month. You don't think so?
I think every quarter.
Maybe every quarter.
Because they had one, which was the one you went to earlier in the year. That was like maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
I don't remember, but it wasn't. That one wasn't so. It was well promoted for one, and they didn't have the slew of persons. It was more low keyed, right? Which I don't think it should be. I think NHT should calendarize it, and so that we know that, listen, here are the dates, and we book it in advance. So we know we're going to be there, so we're prepared for it.
Not only that, too, the persons who need to sort out the NIS and all those things before they can even get to the NHT portion of the event have time to work
towards it. Yes.
Yeah, because persons came to the park and like, what's happening in NHT Expo? And then 2 other persons actually went home for the NIS number and came back.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yeah. So because they only told us about a month, right?
Yeah.
We only had a month to prepare. But NHT, if you're listening to me, something you should calendarize. And I think I'm going to send it to an email too.
Because it's a good event.
I want to send it to an email to the organizers, because we have their email. They've been emailing us.
But what they should also do is expand it.
Yeah. The park is so big, yet
we're just in that little the dome section.
I think you needed to have extended it to more persons, more housing companies, more credit unions, banks, and just about everybody. You know, same thing with the support services like construction companies, same solar and people who do windows and doors and all of that needs to be expanded into a bigger kind of event.
But if we're really thinking about it, this may be their first year, right? So there's always
well, no, we were invited through our association, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even at the same time, they limited the amount of us who could have participated,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was odd.
I think because of the space that they were trying to control the space.
But the park is a huge park.
Because even the section behind us was empty the whole day.
Yeah.
Eventually, they put an NHT tent out there too, because of the crowd that was bundled up at the original NHT tent. So they brought us a second tent. But I think they should use the other spaces to the left and right of the dome.
Yeah, they should have. Well, it rained, so we had to work between the raindrops. The rain was it really held up. I mean, it threatened, but it held up. Right?
But what I liked is that every time it rained a little bit, it cooled down the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And so the heat wasn't on you the whole day.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was a good outdoor event. But I realized probably next time I need a bigger tent. Need more people. Need more people.
Our tent was full.
Need more scouts.
I don't think he needs more scouts.
We couldn't have more scouts if we didn't have more people on the inside.
Yeah.
We need to have more.
Because we had 3 on the inside and we were still very busy.
Yeah, so we need to but I'll send NHT an email of my thoughts and what they can improve for next time. And definitely we need to calendarize it. So you really need to have one every quarter.
And now that I've done it, I kind of see ways that we can improve too with what we present on the day.
Yes. We needed we had lots of visuals of Palmetto, Pines, but we didn't seem to have any visuals of other properties that we were selling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we needed to have printed more of those because the people are visual. Mm-hmm. So even if we don't give them a little brochure or something, at least they could see a picture of what else we had, which was, I think that was.
Right, and what I will do definitely is our login system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get maybe another one of these and have like 2 tablets on it and have that in front. So when they come in front of me, the first thing they can do is log themselves in.
Okay, yes, yeah. Instead of you or Rachel trying to do it on your own. That's true. Eventually, I started giving people purses my phone. My phone because I couldn't manage it. So now I have a slew of persons to who I need to either give them a mortgage officer or let them know what else we have and so on. It was really a good event.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. What I like was the fact that now, because some persons follow me on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So the fact that now I have a face to the name.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of thing. So it was a good event.
I know because persons did come by and say, I'm here to meet Miss Claudia.
Yeah, really good. So we get to, and it, the NHT demographic group, it made me realize that group is struggling to find reasonable property for them to buy, Properties have gone up into the 20 million, but they're only getting combined 50 million. And it's even worse for those who are by themselves trying to buy. Like I heard Tony teasing a young man that won on Care Club. I mean, he really doesn't have anybody.
Right.
Have
to find a wife.
So, eventually I did ask him to go and check with his uncles, his aunts, to see who have used their NHT and could possibly combine with him. But the truth is, you'll say, but one person supposed to can buy a house. Not true.
Mm-mm.
It really has never been true.
Even our family, it hasn't been true.
Hasn't been
We've
true.
all had to.
You have to merge. You have to get someone to co-sign. You have to get a guarantor. Like when I bought my first house, Richard co-signed. So, you have to, when you think about it, it's really a big investment, a huge investment. And the truth is everybody wants to live somewhere that's nice and reasonable to interlock the windows because the mosquitoes are coming in.
Really? And I was enjoying the fresh air.
No, this window is open. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Can see them flying towards me. And they will soon start attacking my feet. Yes, so the group, and each time somebody came to me, oh, my budget is NHT 7.5. You joining with somebody? No. I'm scratching my head and I'm thinking, where?
Housing agency, but they need to build some more homes.
Where?
Catherine Estate that they did the other day was a really good decision. But they need to do some more.
The thing is,
government takes too long to mobilize themselves.
The government owned all of that stretch that Gore is on, that everybody's on. They own those lands. So I'm thinking, I guess they did the economics of it.
Mm-hmm.
They probably didn't want to put a whole slew of that income bracket on that on the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a kind of balance. Let me go with them upper, medium, and a low kind of thing.
But the truth is, the income bracket that Gore sells in, that Phoenix is in, there's no houses in that price range either.
There are no houses.
Right.
Well, there's Gore, which is why so many persons run on Gore, right?
But if the government didn't put them there wouldn't be any houses.
Right.
So while they were doing Catherine Estates for the persons who can qualify under one NHT,
mm-hmm.
they did the Gores
for the two people.
For the people who can qualify under the two NHT.
Mm-hmm. But it's not enough. It's not enough. And then,
Mommy, it's never gonna be enough, because here we're in a situation now where the Jamaican people
mm-hmm.
are more educated towards knowing about NHT and the benefit. NHT has also made it easier to qualify
mm-hmm.
with the 1 year, the 13 months basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now more companies who have employed people are contributing to the NHT. So right around the clock, people are qualifying. The government and the private developers can't build fast enough for everybody's qualifying.
But they don't need to build. And this is the thing, they don't need to build.
What you mean they don't
what
need
they
to build?
need to do is cut up the land, give the people the drawings and say, okay, this land is for 3 million. Because it has to be subsidized, not a problem. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
This land is for 3 million. You can get 7.5. Then, because you can get 7.5, you will build a studio house on this land.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a drawing. Here are the contractors. Studio land for 4 million or 4.5. That's it. I'll be done with it. Give them the starter. Mm-hmm. And you don't need to cut up these lands big. Put in the sewage plant. Give them the 2,000 or the 3,000 square feet land,
mm-hmm.
and let them start. Let them have the shelter over their heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the government
trying to do too much. They need to make the people put a hand in it.
Yes, trying to do too much. Just cut up the land and sell it. That's it. All these NHT housing schemes that them have all over the place. None of them don't look good. All them chaka. Anyway. So, I mean, so it shows that the government themselves don't really build to standard themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe the National Housing Trust should be for the lower income level, the level that you say you led into 7.5 up to 15 million. That is the demographic that you need to focus on. You need to find the solutions for them. And I think the solution to that is smaller lots.
Mm-hmm.
Put in the sewage. Smaller lots. Anywhere in the island that you have, the government have land. You may not have a lot of land in St. Andrew, because St. Andrew, we've gone up in the hills now. It's hilly. So it might not be cost effective. It might be cost effective to do a whole entire low to middle housing scheme in St. Andrew, but certainly there is St. Catherine, which have lots of Jamaica government have lots of land in St. Catherine
and Clarendon
and St. Thomas. But St. Thomas, I think,
Kinda
is
hilly.
hilly.
Yeah.
Kind of hilly. But certainly in St. Catherine and Clarendon, the government can do better. I think they can.
They need to do it faster.
Do it faster too. And the thing is, you would think that as a NHT or a housing agency of Jamaica, your approvals should be 1, 2, 3. Approval shouldn't take you 2 years like me.
I don't get why it takes so long for them to
I don't
build
get it.
schemes. I
I don't
mean, they
get
should
it.
be spitting out at least 4 schemes a year.
Yeah, more. You
Because
should
they're
have
not
one in
Jamaica
every
no
parish.
short of contractors and those things.
No, you should have one scheme in every parish every year. One in every parish minimum.
Not
That
most
way you
parish,
get through 12.
all parishes don't need schemes because
They need schemes. If they do a scheme in St. Thomas, it may be bigger plots. So you may go with a 10,000 square foot plot or even bigger.
mm-hmm.
But you build the infrastructure and persons can buy the land,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you need to, but definitely for the lower level, government needs to focus on the lower level. They need to.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who qualify, who earning $60,000 a month, $60,000 a month, up to $100,000 a month. Why them can't buy a house? What's the reason for that?
But you're right with the idea where if you're getting 4 million left after you buy the NHT land, quote unquote, with the set design of the studio and the approved contractor who is to build it within the $4 million. Because when they go to these private contractors, you end up with cost overrun and all sort of different rate variations of how to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a set contractor who knows that he's going to be building NHT studio houses in this scheme.
For that.
And he has a system builder or whatever they call it. And he's just putting those up like clockwork as NHT approves them.
Right. And NHT don't need to get into building of houses. I don't think so. I don't need to. Just put in the infrastructure, the roads, drains, electricity, water, and the sewage plant. And give the people them title. Give them the other loan. So if somebody join in and then buy the $3 million land, they might have 12 million. So they can probably now build a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
So you also have a studio, a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom. And that's a fix. That's it. Complete. We have them only for half-finished house all over the place. And no, man, NHT need to draw in that and control that now.
Yeah,
that's another thing. That's too loosey-goosey. Because you make homeowners into contractors, which they're not. Right? This poor homeowner don't know how much sand for buy and how much cement. Them don't know nothing. Them don't even know how big this is. And then you allow them. This is
design.
You allow them to go design the house. And them design this 2-story big hell of a house that NHT 7.5 million cannot build. And you said to them, oh, just build a little party in the garage.
So you're forever in an unfinished house.
And the people that steal and stick up in the year. It happened to me too. Steal and stick up in the year. This I do, that I do. And they never finish. Come on. Just say to them, listen, here's a studio house. Here's an expanded drawing as well. There is an expanded drawing. When you come, your money is a studio house. So we're giving you the drawings of the studio house. Right? When you have some more money, so like maybe a child broke now, them can get a loan. Then you come back now for the expanded drawings. Right, Tony? Need some control. Government, NHT, seriously, you need to get a grip on the construction of these houses. Don't build them. Do not build them. You need to put in management of the system. That's what I think, management. That's just my 2 cents. Tony, any questions? You just started the questions before we run out. Because I must have lots of questions pile up.
No, not really.
And I'm having a voice issue here.
Shauna says, good morning. Oh, Sashana says, good morning. Morning, Sashana.
Morning, Sashana.
Zerva says, morning. Farah says, good morning, everyone. Blessings to you and all.
Thanks, Farah.
IMO says, good morning. Fire Youth says, morning. And Hope says, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to life.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for getting up this morning and joining us. There's something I wanted to discuss on live. Where did I drop it now?
Far is asking, but Miss D, how would NHT ensure that person who take the loan will build and not just use the money after buying land? Oh, but we're not giving the money to them. The contractor that's assigned to build that house, NHT will dispense the money to the contractor. Because we know the 4 billion that's left, that is all it can build. Like, there's no extra money for you to do anything else.
Yeah.
So the money is not even going to the homeowner, anything. The homeowner is going to pay them mortgage.
And the homeowner, I think the homeowner should start paying the mortgage right away anyway.
We don't have anywhere to live.
Yeah, quite frankly. Because you should have the systems in place where this contractor knows you're building a studio house 3 months.
Yeah.
Building a 1-bedroom 4 months. Building a 2-bedroom 6 months. That's all the time you have to build this, right? And then the NHT would have their project managers and their quality control people on the ground. On the ground. Then you would also get into things now like even procurement. You could say to a tank well, this is a tank well. These are the standard doors that we're going to be using on these quads and whatever. Now, the homeowner should not have any say in the finishes. The tiles, the doors, nothing. Because remember, this is a cost thing. It has already been costed, and we know the door is $10. We know the window is $20 and the tile is $50. So it's standardized and it's costed. So we give them a turnkey studio house, you move in, live your life. When you have more money, you come back to NHT.
Right, so like the tank wells would have a package that says these are the windows,
these are the doors,
these are tiles.
Yeah.
That goes into this
type of building. Our active traders or any of those people would have that. And they definitely import for that reason, right? But NHT needs to control it. One of them were planning. We could have designed a whole lot of that for them. And show them how to get it, how to get it done. Has to be controlled. But far as it is now, the system now is the NHT actually gives the homeowner the money in their bank account.
So that money won't get used up, like what Farah was saying.
Of course it can. We got 3 loans. I got mine, you got yours, Richard got hers, and it's me control the money. So
yeah, but
drop it in your account.
But you're head smart with money and construction. Not everybody have that kind of head space. Right.
So that's why I'm saying it needs more input from the National Housing Trust. So that we don't have part of the thing why I'm saying this is because of these whole heap of half-inch houses out there. You don't want that. You want the people to have a finished property. If it's even a studio, them can plant them flowers and them garden and the place look nice. You understand? Like HAJ did that over at Berkshire, Olaba Bay.
Yeah.
Where they built studio houses on the land. And persons have subsequently done their additions to it. And some persons haven't. Because, in some instances, it's just you alone live. I need to expand the house. You alone. Or even you and your wife. You one studio or one bedroom. Suffice.
Camille says, good morning, team. And Chris B says, good morning, Tony and Miss B. Good morning.
Morning.
One Ham saying, good morning. If you buy land from somebody that just has a diagram, how do you go about getting the title? This is common.
You can use, what's the name of that place I always use?
Geoland.
Geoland. Which parish you're in? You can use Geoland to take the diagram, the conveyance document, which is a document that you would have signed up with the person to say, I, John Brown, sell you. And that conveyance document can be, if they didn't sign it up, buy it at in one of the bookstores. You can buy it and they sign it up. And can I find a conveyance document now? Let me look for a conveyance document. Let me show you.
So Geoland will do the part about actually cutting it off.
No, cut off already with the diagram. GLI will just put it through the system so anybody can now update the system and give you a title.
Okay.
So you're gonna you definitely need to show proof that you buy the land from the person. Or they gifted it to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in a will or something. And then that person also needs to, so the one that I did recently, the mother passed, but she had her conveyance where she bought it from somebody. Mm-hmm. And she left a willing it to her son and her daughter.
Okay.
You understand? So I need two persons who can say. So if it's yours on the land, you need two persons who can say, two persons over 50 who can say you are on the land for 30 years. If it's not you giving that, then the person you buy it from must have two persons over 50 who can say them know the land and them know that person that own the land for over 30 years.
Okay.
Right?
Kodesh says, morning, I'm interested in commercial, even if it's a rundown property. Do you have any in your listings? Commercial property, in which parish are you looking for? Kodesh, which parish? And Hurricane says, very good idea, Miss D. The NHD need to hire you. Oh, you'll give them more work. And Shoshana says, I live overseas and started making NHD contributions in March 2022 with hopes of purchasing land in the near future. How long do I need to make NHD contributions? It's 2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years if you live overseas.
Right, 2 years if you live overseas. I think I'm gonna get a cold from getting wet yesterday. Kodesh says Kingston and St. Andrew or St. Catherine.
And then again, it depends on what you're using the commercial property for. All commercial property not equal. So if you're doing manufacturing, you have to be down on the Spanish Town Belt or in the manufacturing belts or in the free zones. It's not everywhere that you can do commercial. Like I see some persons, you want to take a break. I see some persons do buy residential properties and then them converting them into commercial and getting into hot waters with other neighbors. So you kind of have to know what kind of commercial you want. What is also good is if you probably look out for commercial land that's being sold. So there's commercial land that was being sold in Portmore, probably gone by now. I think I would have that UDC.
Mm-hmm.
One of them are very still. You can look for them, but if it's Portmore, that's gone already for sure, don't it?
Maybe not. They had quite a few lots, like wasn't it like 22 lots they were selling?
Was it 22 more than that, man?
More than that?
Yeah. Saw the big sign, but I don't know if they still have it. I'm looking for the conveyance. Let me just see if I can find it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Kodesh says warehousing on office.
Warehousing.
How much square feet do you need, Kodesh?
We can rent warehousing from the free zones. I think same UDC control the free zones, but free zones are all over Jamaica. We call them free zones. That's what they are. They're warehouses. You have Garmix and Marcus Garvey. You have them name. It's called Factories Corporation of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
So you can call the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, ask them to have any warehouse space leasing.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of you building a warehouse or you want a building to convert to a warehouse, that's what you're thinking. So you would, in Kingston and St. Andrew, you'd want to be on Spanish Town Road. I might know a property now. And that's the Spanish Town Road. I need to look on it. What's up us?
They want something to buy though.
Yeah, that's what I said. What's up us? WhatsApp me and let me know about the warehouse and Spanish Town. Same conversation, you just WhatsApp me 292-6776. I think I know I'm building on Spanish Town Road right now. I need to give me a budget.
And the size
Yeah.
you need.
So it's all like you want a place that you can convert to warehouse. So you want to be on Spanish Town Road, Marcus Garvey Drive, Hadley Park Road, Malines Road.
Cool, actually, I want to buy, not rent.
Yeah, buy. Any one of those major roads you want to be on.
Ruby says, good morning, ladies. Welcome back, Mrs. D. Happy Sunday, everyone. Monica also says, good morning. Morning, Monica. And One Ham is saying, part 1B to the no title question. What if the seller is selling dead left land and their diagram title is not in their name? Will the buyer have a problem still to apply for the new title?
You can't apply. The person who have the dead left must do that first.
Mm-hmm.
So them have to go through the process of, and it's not a difficult process, guys. They must go through the process of showing that they are related to the person who died, whether it was their mother, their uncle, whatever, mm-hmm. and that person was on the land for 50 years. Them born in the house, grew up in the house, so them dead for 30 years, and seek a title in their name. Even if the person never leave a will, but you can show say you are the natural person in line. So if it was your mother or your father, then obviously you naturally in line.
What about if there's more than one person naturally in line?
You can declare them. But they are the state who must go on title. Mm-hmm. So there may be 5 of you naturally in line. But 3 say, listen, I don't need to be on that title. I don't want none. And you show that. Do the letter, get it notarized. So say, I, John Brown, even though I have a stake in this, I don't need it. I don't want it. I am agreed to Tom Strokes being on title. And it done. Right? But that don't buy property from people whose name don't appear on the tax roll. The name must be on the tax roll. The name on the tax roll, forget that. The people who are related to them, those persons must go and get that regularized first.
Shauna says, do I need to start making contributions since I've already made over 2 years of payment, or do I have to continue making contributions until a certain age?
She's overseas?
Yes.
So Shauna, if you're overseas, you're qualified. Why haven't you bought a house? Use the benefit now. You already qualify for the benefit. So what you have to do now is find a property and buy it. But 7.5 won't get you really decent property. So maybe what you should do is get your pre-approved for a loan along with the NHT loan. Mm-hmm. And you use that benefit along with a loan from the bank and buy a property. So if you want us to do that, WhatsApp us and let us get you through that stage and buy a property. But remember, you need money for deposit, right? So save some money so you'll have that. But use the benefit now because you're qualified now.
Question, Mom.
Hold on. Can voluntary contributors go on the portal?
Not to my knowledge, no.
All right, so you need to email the NHT. NHT.
We care.
No, sorry. Say it, Tony.
We care at nht.gov.jm.
Email them, ask them for your eligibility letter. Send them your ID and your TRN.
Right. Question, Mom. Persons who are contributing voluntarily because they're from overseas, are they lifers just like us where we pay up until we retire?
Everybody's a lifer, unfortunately. Because the thing is, you have to pay for the other people to get benefits. That's how it works. It's like a Ponzi scheme. If the younger people don't keep paying into the scheme, so like we are still paying our NHT contributions. They say it's a contribution, but quite frankly, it's a tax. If you don't pay it, them are running down feet, right?
They're the first ones to
Yeah.
run it down for it.
I've had that running argument with them. I say, if it is a contribution, why are you chasing me for it? But the only reason why I'm not being more aggressive with them to tell them, stop talking to me about this, because this is a contribution, I'll tell you. One, the National Housing Trust, they're a good partner when it comes to owning real estate. As I tell you, because of them, in our household, 3 of us have used our NHT. So just know that we have at least 3 properties just because of the National Housing Trust, right? The interest rate is low, so it's a no-brainer, all right? Also, it's one of the easiest loans that you'll ever get. It's so easy. Even Zana's able to get the loan, right? Easy loan. You can get the loan after contributing for 1 year. So if you start work at 18, by the time you're 19, you can get the loan, right? Also, the other thing you need to remember, the contributions that you make to the National Housing Trust today will be refunded 7 years from now, automatically, right? So the refund, no. So the automatic, if you have a loan.
Yeah.
So it goes to. So who asked the question? Shoshana? The contributions that you're making 7 years from now has nothing to do with the loan. It's not your money them lending you back, like how them bank you lending you back your own money. It's not your money. It is the contributions that you make. 7 years down the line, they will refund that contribution. If you have a loan, that money is going to go onto the loan every January. So you have to make sure every January that you make sure you pay your mortgage. Because once your mortgage up to date, the contribution goes to your principal, which is why we have been able to pay off the loan so quickly, because that money goes onto the principal and cuts it down. Now that's a game changer. The bank not doing that for you, but the NHT does that.
They're not making the contributions in the bank.
Yeah, and them not my savings. Well, not my savings at least. But the NHT does that. So your contributions is not lost, right? Plus, I do believe there's an interest that they do pay on the contributions. Market might go a sub-zero, but they pay an interest on the contributions. Not only that, when you get to pensionable age, if you have never taken back your contributions, when you get to pensionable age, even up to what it took 7 years in the back, but the 7 years forward, because remember, when you get to 65, then I still have 7 years in the back. You write them a nice little letter and you get back on your contributions. Right? So,
like pension.
Yeah, coming like pension. So, or you even your beneficiary can write for that money and get it back. Right? So it's a contribution in that sense, in that it's held. I guess they're making money on it. So because they probably have it for some fixed deposit, treasury bond, this, that. Right, Tony?
Oh,
so they use it for make money on, right? But they do refund it to you. So that's not a bad thing. Which is why I have to hassle them about stop hassling me about contribution. Do you know what I mean? Because I do give it back to you. But you should use the benefit, everybody. Once you qualify under the NHT, use the benefit, man. Find something by. Join it with another loan from a bank because you have the means. Not like some persons who earning minimum wage or who earn it. And I want to tell you, the less money you earn, you pay 0 interest rate. So I better for you when you take it when you just get a little start to work. Like what I did with my kids. So they got their loans at like 19 and probably 20. Yeah.
Ruby says, Mrs. Davis, Mrs. Davis, we should marry you off. Where is the best place to buy blinds and curtains in Jamaica?
Azans at Crossroads have a wide selection of curtains. Quilts, I think they have the widest selection I've seen in terms of curtains.
If you want cheap but pretty, Bashko is also a good choice.
Yeah,
That's where I got mine.
So you get them cheap, pretty girl, pretty boy. Yeah, Bashka is a good choice. And Bashka is downtown. Bashka is on the rest of downtown.
They're in Spanish Town.
Oh, yeah, they're in Spanish Town too. But yes, so Azan's Crossroads, Bashka, good with curtains. A more wide selection and variety.
The Amars in what's that plaza on Carnival Spring Road? Mall Plaza. Amars.
Amars from Mall Plaza. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
They have some nice stuff as well. Little higher end, but they have some nice stuff. Yeah, but all feeling that you can just go online and buy curtain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have $100 limit now in Jamaica.
Yeah.
So you can buy anything up to $100. Your bill come up to $100, and when you get here, you only pay the poundage. You don't pay any customs.
Right.
And like Circles and those people is $1,000 a pound.
Yeah, roughly
$1,000 a pound. Like curtain light. So you can go online and buy that.
Right.
There's another store that we were into recently, which was El Piazar in Crossroads.
They have a good selection too.
Yeah, they have a good selection. Only thing you have to buy a minimum of, I think it's 6, the max.
6, yeah.
6 are the same thing. So if you have a room that you need to decorate with 6, good place to go. And they sell a lot of other household stuff. So you can go upstairs and look in your showroom and so on, and you'll see their other household stuff that they're selling. But in there is a busy.
Yeah, you can't just go in there and go.
busy.
You have to go in there focused.
It's like a whole.
It's like walking into a warehouse.
Yeah, it's like walking into a warehouse. You will be overwhelmed. But if you're used to retail shopping, you're going to be overwhelmed in their stuff, and that's like a warehouse. That's where people like me would have gone to buy and sell. If I was still in the buy and sell business, that would have been one of my go-to. My father introduced me to it because he used to sell fabric on Spanish Town Road. And then when I got into the same buy and sell, it was one of those places that I would go to as I go to. El Piazar. They're in Crossroads on Marasco Road, across from National Water Commission. Busy place. The earlier you go, the better. So if you reach at 9 o'clock when they're open, you're better off than trying to go like 10, 11 when
lunchtime.
When the retailers come in to shop for them store and shop for them. So go have a look down there too.
Jasmine says good morning, and Shoshana says got it, thanks. How do you pronounce his name?
Shakir.
Good morning. Question: if you're planning to be a joint owner with your partner, and one of the party is already a homeowner, would the couple be eligible for benefits if the other person is a contributor?
No. They can only get home improvement, but you can plead a case. If, let us say the other person got it because the mother or father put their name on the title, like how I would put my kids' names on titles. So if their mother and father put their name on the title, they had nothing to do with it. It's not their house anyway. They can write a letter and try to plead the case. But if it is that they use their NHT benefit to buy property already, they're not going to get it more. And if it is that they themselves went and took a bank loan and bought the property on their own, NHT is going to say, no, you can only get home improvement loan.
Right.
So it just depends on your circumstance. Why your name is on this title. And all that again, I think that is rubbish.
What?
That's rubbish.
What?
If you're contributing, you're entitled to the full benefit. That is discrimination. NHT, and you need to stop it. Why you tell the people their money and contribution they are talk about, oh, you own a house already, you know. So we can't give you this beg. We can't give you this 7.5 million. Whatever. If I own a house already and the benefit me qualify for the 7.5, if I want to use it, put on a garage, put on a roof for my house I have already, or whatever, I should be able to. Buy a next house with my girlfriend, my wife, my mother, I should be able to. Stop telling me nonsense. But because, oh, your name is on the title already. We don't want you to have two O's. What rubbish?
That's what they're really saying. They don't want you to have to.
What are that well on to? Well, that's how I interpret it. Oh, everybody on the chat, tell me how you interpret that now. So NHT, take your contributions. Then now them look at them, oh, you have a name on a title, you know, your name is on a title. So we can only give you, your name is on a title and there's a house on this land. So we can't give you 7.5, we're only giving you home improvement. Give me a break. Give me a break. Also, another beef I have, I'm going to put my beef with them still. Them is a good company, but we think them, sometimes them little, them misguided. Put it away there. Sorry. Another beef I have with them is, the benefit is now 7.5 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
They gave me 1 million. They gave Tony at 1.5. And I think they gave Ray Cheryl 4.7.
Yeah, something like that.
The benefit is now 7.5. I'm saying to them, if I only got 1 million, why can't I get 6.5? No. Come on.
For the home improvement?
Yeah. Or even if I buy an XO, so what?
Because then it's in perpetuity. Every time there is the benefit, you can get another loan.
So what's wrong with that?
Yes, I don't want to do that.
What's wrong with that? When all the rest of people them not even want to come for the loan.
Oh,
I'm a contributor to this thing. Give them enough money to every year. So I'm saying, why can't I get the 6.5 million, which is the difference with the 1 million that I borrowed? Because quite frankly, you know, the 1 million that I borrowed, well, below us long time and whatever, pay off that long time or whatever. We probably have paid them more than $1 million in a contribution every year. I want to do the same thing. What the hell? What's going on here? And then you only want to give me, how much more are you? 3.5.
Yeah, but they can't do that, Mom. They want to make economic maths. Because the young people paying the benefit now so that people can get, the older people can get benefit, basically, right? But young people are not taking them loan now.
Mm-hmm.
If they keep giving you, who use your 1.5 and you pay it off and then you come back, oh, the benefits now 7, they keep giving you, they're going to run out of money.
Oh, you run out of money? Can't run out of money.
They're going to run out of money. Everybody coming for the 3 loans.
They cannot run
within the 10 years.
They cannot run out of money. If they partner with the banks, also how the bank don't run out of money? What do you think?
The bank charge you 8 and 9% interest rate.
Not the
NHT
interest
rate is like 0.
It's not the interest rate that the bank making money from.
It's the fact that when you put money in there, them times it by enough figures.
When the bank have a 10 million deposit, the bank can lend 20 times the deposit.
Yeah, but then
the 20 times, do the math. 20 times the 10 million that you have in the bank. Mm-hmm. The bank can go lend it to who the chat. The bank can go lend it to Farah. Remember, you know, when they multiply the 10 million that you have in the bank by 20, that money is not real money. That's just money in them computer. So them can now half lend it to Farah and say, Farah, pay me back this in a 40 years. Really? And if them give Farah 40 years to pay back the money, Tony, you see how long the money take to come back? So there was some fake fictitious money them all lend out. People do the maths. If they are taking you, if they've given me 30 years to pay back the loan, right? Mm-hmm. When the market back the money, they forgot to lend it out again. So obviously it is not the money that I paying, but them using to lend, you know. The interest that I'm paying, but they're using for their operational cost, like to pay Farah, to pay We Care, to pay all of those people, and to pay them overheads. But definitely the principal that them lending is fake money, everybody. Somebody challenge me on that. Challenge me on that. So if NHT partners with the bank, which they have done now actually, I guess it's because I'm running out of money. Just say.
Yeah.
As them keep taking out billions of dollars for operating Jamaica, right? So if them partner with the bank, which is I guess is what them do now, they partner with the bank, because the bank can't lend the fake money. So them partner with the bank now. So that's what I'm saying. Them can't lend any amount of money now under these guys. They can't. So they have to trust me, they can lend. They can lend, but the economics of it though is that the NHT operates in an environment with banks and building societies and credit unions. So the NHT can hug all of the loan portfolio, right, Tony? Or the Jamaica Nationals and the Victoria Mutuals of this world would suffer. You understand? So the NHT, in truth, can only limit what they lend so that people like me are forced to go to the bank to get the rest. The other beef I have though is that I think I'm kind of relaxed that now. They used to say you have to take the home improvement to home improve a home that you bought with the National Housing Trust.
Most of the time you don't even own that still.
Or most of the time they also need the improvement. Yeah, like the one we bought with the National Housing Trust. Don't need not one thing to go spend 3.5 million. Would have scammed the money. Don't need that even a screwdriver, I don't need. So I'm saying, not even a screw I mean it don't need. So I think they relax that now. So you can actually take the 3.5.
But we could renovate the kitchen with it.
Why? Me must spend 3.5. I spend the rest of my lateral life for go pay for a kitchen. Are you crazy?
No, obviously you don't need 3.5 for a kitchen, but you tell them you need 3.5.
No. They're not gonna scam me. I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna scam me. But you could also take the 3.5 and you could put a solar system for all.
Yeah, that could work.
Which I've thought of, but I'm saying to myself, the bill is only $20,000. I don't even pay the bill. I don't care.
And I'm telling that we live in an era where light don't go away.
Light don't go away. Why would I know go take my 3.5? We're gonna pay one loan for maybe 30,000 a month. For not pay JPS. How much JPS may try spite? Don't it? Right? Plus we have solar with battery will soon run out or whatever. When JPS is to infinity. Huh? There'll always be a JPS. Well, I hope. There'll always be a JPS. You can't bank on it. But my solar system eventually I start brought down and I need maintenance. Whatever, I don't know. I say every time I think about it, I say that's not the best use of 3.5. My best use of the 3.5, which they're not allowing me to do, is to go buy a little piece of land for 3.5, which I could have found if I want. I'm joined with me and Tony. I said, Tony, I could go buy a palmetto pint with the 3.5. That would have been my best use of the 3.5, but they're not allowing me to do that. Or they will say, take a 3.5 and go improve another house that you own. And again, I'm saying, I scan the brain, which of those we have no need to.
But the truth is, first of all, Mom, the properties that you own aren't really old enough. And the truth is, too, most of the properties you own, you built them. So you did quality work from the start on them. Yeah. So they're not at the stage where they're like 100 years old where they need improvement.
Yeah, and then popped out. And then I'm on a board house, right? And I don't believe in board roofs. I don't do them. I do slab roofs.
Yeah.
So the thing is, NHT now work for me right now, you know, but me I'll find a way. I'm gonna find a way to tell you. When I eventually
Let them employ you to be
I'm paying with the 3.5 million.
to put in processes for home building.
Yeah, give me the 3.5 million cash in my hand for do that fool as a consultant. Then yeah, it will make sense. You can show him 23.5 and Rachel 3.5. Show that to you.
All right, let's answer some questions. All right, Tony says, hear me, Tony. Farah says, Tony, please, could you repeat the email for NHT? We care at nht.gov.jm.
Oh, Tony, I forgot I was looking for the conveyance document.
And Camille says, question, contributions not yet due for refund goes towards the mortgage?
Yes, every year. In January. So look out for it this January.
No, Mom. That's. Did you answer that correctly?
Oh no, hold on. No, it's not the contributions due for refund.
Right.
But there's a way you can get the contributions not due for refund, and that is if you're buying a property, then you can apply for what's called contribution refund towards deposit. And you use that to pay closing costs or to pay the deposit on the property. And that's all the contributions up to 2 years in the back. So I guess they'll give you everything up to maybe 2022, maybe not 24. To be safe, I would say 2021. So you can go on the portal and you will see your contributions. You can add them up and see, do I have enough? Yeah, so let's just say I add that up and you get 500,000. We've had persons who use that. So it's called and it was a buyer who taught me that. And I've actually helped persons to get that money and use it. So it is not regular contributions, right? It is contribution refund towards deposit. That's what it is. That's what you have to ask for. So usually I ask for the letter, which is contribution refunds towards deposit letter. Remember, contribution refund towards deposit letter.
That should. I really hope the portal gets to a point where that is now there.
It's not gonna be there. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to come for all that money. I'm not gonna tell you that. It's only if you listen to us, you'll know that. You really think NHT can broadcast that? I tell you, say is a buyer. Come to me. She never have no money. She use. And since a lot of persons I've helped to get that money and they use it. Even with Palmetto Pine, some persons will be using it for their closing costs, right? We'll get down to that stage. So they'll use it for their closing costs, right? As a matter of fact, remind us, Tony, when we get to that stage, we need to let persons know that this is what they can apply for to use it, right? But I tell you that the NHT is a good creature to partner with.
It's one of the better government agencies.
One of the better ones.
In terms of even their systems, how the staff interacts with you, how they set up their location. It's like,
I want to tell them something else too. They have a nice canteen too, that you can go and buy food. So if you're in the New Kingston area and you don't know where to eat, go to the NHT office, ask where the canteen is. It's right on the ground floor. And they do have a good offering, a wide variety of lunch that you can purchase. So when I'm in New Kingston, that's usually my go-to. Very nice. So them have that going to for them. Them staff supposed to love them. When you get a job at NHT, you can't leave.
Marsha T says, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon as well. Hurricane Gilbert says, for someone who wants to get into commercial farming, why do you suggest leasing the farmland instead of buying it?
Okay, capital outlay less from the start.
Yeah, farming is a
farmland
huge undertaking.
Yeah, and farmland is cheap to lease. Can I tell you?
Yeah, like it don't make sense own this large acreage of farmland if you just get into farming. You need to wet your foot.
Yeah, you're gonna make some serious errors. Tony have discovered. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna make some mistakes there. And remember to lease the land, know what you want to farm, because it's not everything grow everywhere in Jamaica. That much I've learned. So if you want to farm orange, apple, potato, whatever, you must know which parish in Jamaica grows those things well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a good place to start would be RADA, Rural Agriculture Development Authority. I think that's what it's called. RADA. That's a good place to start to get some information. Another good place would be Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. They also have lots of training programs and seminars and you name it. Get onto those and do the research. So spend at least 6 months to a year doing this kind of research before you get into it, which is why I want to lease the land. So you don't have no big overhead. You can maybe lease land for 100,000 Jamaican a year and all them petty money there. Can you pay the lease for the year? I'm trying to remember where that is conveyance. Any more questions?
Yes. Actually trying to find the answer.
What
All
was
right.
the question?
How do we join NHT from the US?
Oh, voluntary contribution. Go to the NHT's website. Are you sharing?
No, I'm actually trying to find it.
Yeah, but you have to show them how to get there.
So you go to NHT's website, and I believe it's on the contribution payments, and then you go to voluntary.
Are you sharing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the conveyance already.
All right. So they give a lot of information here for voluntary. What are the requirements? How are payments made? What are the benefits and penalties? Voluntary contribution, overseas contribution, right? And then there's actually a form that says here voluntary contribution application that you would need to fill out. All right. So you just need to go to here, and here's a list of information on how to become a contributor with NHT. It's all there.
And do they need to, is there something they need to send the notarized? They give them all the info, right?
NHT gives them all the info. Monica says Bashko, and Sophia says, good morning, everyone. Welcome back, ladies. Thanks, Sophia. Coder says, if I'm contributing and I don't need a home loan, but want to use it for commercial, do they do that?
No way.
No, NHT does not do commercial loans.
Don't do commercial at all.
Right. Someone says, repeat your phone number, please. It is 292-6776.
Tony, I need to write this down because I need to find a conveyance document.
Monica says, I visited a bachelor store in Montego Bay. They sell everything.
Oh,
we compared price and it was close to what we pay here for so many things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, Bashko, man. Good little store, man. Bashko. Game changer.
Mm-hmm. Currency walks at NHT, bad mind.
Bad mind, yes, man. Thanks. Every time I deal with that.
You're not bad mind.
Bad mind. Whoever are the policymakers. The policymakers.
Duncan says, greetings, teacher. True your talk, NHT and Ginal. And what happens is true about the NHT thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that's another thing. Why contributors overseas have to pay for 2 years. What kind of discrimination? Them are not Jamaicans too. Or anybody can contribute. You need to check that too, you know.
Yeah, well, I think what NHT is trying to do is because the locals who live and work in Jamaica, we are actively looking to live here. Persons who are contributing from overseas, yes, they're looking to buy real estate, but chances are not going to live here.
But again, that's an assumption.
Yeah?
Yeah, you don't know. So you discriminate based on your assumptions.
But that government has to do that. That's
Why?
part of big government.
No, it's not. Government serves the people. You can't discriminate this is the people, that's the people, that's the people.
But government has to do that because government has limited resources.
They don't have to do that. The drugs that you take now, that you get free, that you can walk into the drug serve in Jamaica, give them the prescription and they hand you back the drugs and it's free. Do you think the government of Jamaica should say, oh, Tony, and you can afford this drug, so we're not giving it to you free? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Correct. But what the government has done to mitigate that is that I have to go to a Jamaican clinic, register there, get my checkups done there, and a doctor who is regulated by the NHF is the only one who can write the prescription.
So what's wrong with
all doctors can write the prescription.
So what is wrong with that?
So they're regulating it.
But they're saying you're a Jamaican. When the persons who live overseas come, their Jamaican passport, go into any of these clinics and register themselves as a Jamaican. They have access to all the services just the same. The NHF card, the clinics, the hospitals, free. All of that they have access to. So I am saying, if NHT is a government institution, why is it that Jamaicans who live overseas don't have access?
They do have access. The government has just regulated it.
But they have discriminated in the regulation. In other words, the Jamaicans who live here are getting a different standard from the Jamaicans who live overseas. And I'm saying that's discrimination. It shouldn't be.
It should be the same 1 year.
It should be the same 1 year. It should be the same benefit. It should be the same contribution.
Is it the same benefit and contribution? It's only the 2 year, 1 year difference.
But that's a discrimination. That's what I'm saying it is. So you can't disagree with me now. But it is a discrimination. They should not ask the people to contribute for 2 years and we contribute for 1 year. If they're Jamaicans, they want, and besides, they don't like so they might take the money, go foreign, go buy a house. No. They're buying it here. So when they buy the house here, everybody's benefiting. The mason, the plumber, the this, the that, the helper who clean it, everybody. It's part of the Jamaican capital base, right? Which is part of the infrastructure of the country. So why are you discriminating?
But NHT discriminate right across the board.
But that's what I'm saying.
Their offerings.
That's what I'm saying.
Because even the houses that are built by NHT, you have to have certain amount of years and points built up before you can get it.
And this is what I'm saying. The NHT have discriminatory policies. That's all I'm saying.
But most government agencies do.
No, they don't. Don't say that. The courts of Jamaica don't have discriminatory policies. Anybody can come to the court. As a matter of fact, the court makes it so cheap that any little man who walk off of the street can go to the court and get him justice. Right? And if you can't hire a lawyer, you have legal aid clinic who can give you the lawyer. Right?
Yeah, but at the same time, persons who are overseas, their contribution is voluntary. We that live here, our contribution is not voluntary.
Across the board, you're paying a voluntary contribution. It's just that we out here in NHT want to stick your feet. But I am sure if you got in at the NHT Act, because the NHT governed by an act, if you go into the NHT Act and take them to court, you will win. Because it is a voluntary contribution. So they're not supposed to stick you up for it. You're not supposed to stick you up for it. Going on the act and go to court and challenge them. As I tell you, the only reason why I don't challenge them is because the benefit outweighs. You understand what I'm saying? The benefit that I get back outweighs the fact that them sticking me up for it. I don't mind them sticking me up for it because I know 7 years from now is my money and I'll get it back. I don't have a problem. It's part of the savings plan. Or part of the retirement plan. So we don't have a problem with them sticking me up on a car, Miss Davis, you own the body and the. Right? We don't have a problem. So, but I do think, and we have discussed quite a number of the discriminatory policies that the NHT have. They do discriminate, and that's the truth. I think as a contributor to the trust, whether you're overseas or you're here, across the board, you should get the benefits across the board. So if it's 7 million, we must get 7.5. Don't tell me somebody can't have a house, I can't get 7.5. That is straight.
Well, that one I believe they shouldn't do. But I do think one of the reasons why they're waiting them wait the 2 years because they're trying to collect the money.
What do you mean trying to collect the money? We're collecting the money 2 years after we collected the money 1 year. Plus,
more money.
Do you realize that those voluntary contributors earn way more than us?
Yes.
So their contribution is way more.
So I don't want to collect the money.
No, the contribution is not what they're paying back out. The contribution, that's why they can afford to give you back the money. If that was the money they were lending out, they want to give you back that money. Mm-hmm. And it's because it is a contribution why they're able to refund the money. If it was a tax, government don't refund tax. If it was a tax, them take the money and gone. Mm-hmm. But it's a contribution, which is why they're able to refund the money. So I'm just saying, NHT, you need to start with the whole heap of discrimination. Whoever sits on the policy committee is a whole bunch of people who love discriminate and talk about, oh, you can't get that, you can't get that. That don't be, that don't be. Really. As they said in bad man.
Hope says, is the banks and NHT in Jamaica using credit score to determine loan if you live abroad?
NHT straight up, no. Taking a loan from NHT alone, NHT now use a credit score. Matter of fact, your loan will not even show up on the credit bureau's report because NHT is not even a part of that, which is a good thing.
I think that was deliberate.
That was deliberate, yeah. NHT is not a part of any credit score or anything. So if you have a loan with NHT, it's not going to show up. You go to NHT for your loan, they're not going to use the credit. They're not going to ask in a credit report. And that's deliberate, I think, too. Because quite frankly, the lower income groups in Jamaica have a whole bag of loan about a stretch from here to halfway tree. I kid you not. So if them was to produce that credit report to NHT, them wouldn't get no loan. But NHT wants to give the money, which is why I'm saying, persons, you need to just go, once you qualify, go and get the money. Go and get the money, guys. The cheapest money you will ever get. Within this country, anyway. Mm-hmm. And it's the easiest money you'll ever get, especially if you're self-employed. But you're allowing the whole everything now to back up against you because you're not paying attention and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Right? So self-employed, you need to get your act together, put all the money in the bank so you can have your paper trail to show how much you earn. But a lot of self-employed persons get the money in this hand and take it out in that hand. It doesn't, the bank system don't see it any at all. So they don't have any proof as to what they're earning or anything like that. But NHT with credit score, no. NHT don't use that. It's not a part of that system. And they don't request it. If you're taking a loan from them alone. But if you're going to the bank, what's the income bracket now that has to go through the bank to get the loan? 30,000 a week? There's an income bracket now, income threshold, I should call it. Mm-hmm. If you're below that threshold, you don't go to the bank for the loan, you go straight to NHT. But if you're earning above that, I think it's 30,000 a week. Somebody can research it and tell me. If you're earning a certain amount per week or more, you have to face the bank. So now, that is another discriminatory policy. Because if I am earning over the threshold, mm-hmm, you're forcing me to go face the bank. But I only want the NHT money. So why are you forcing me to go to the bank, face the bank? I tell you, these people sitting on these policy things are. Let's say them not as generous as me. So only the bank will ask for your credit. And the bank not looking at your credit score. The credit score only tells you that you pay your bills on time. Remember, credit score is saying you borrow $10, $50, $100, and you pay it off on time every month. That's what the score tells us. The higher that score, it is saying you are good or even the best at paying back your loan every month, meaning you don't default and pay 10 days late and 20 days late and all these things that sometimes we do, depending on how we're doing the money. But what they're looking at is your loans or how many credit cards you have, which are also loans. So they're looking at how many loans you have and what's your debt service ratio. That's what they're looking at. What is a debt service ratio? All of this in my book. All right, so explain it. So debt service ratio. Debt service ratio is a percentage of your pay, put it that way. So if the bank says the debt service ratio is 50%, what they're saying is 50% of your income is for loans, which would be housing loans, car loans, not even credit card, well, those things, all loans, basically. That's what they're saying. So if they get this credit report and you earn $100,000 a month, and when they add up all of the monthly payments that you make for house loan, car loan, credit card loan, consumer loan, all these little things, and that is more than 50,000, which is 50% of 100,000. If that is more than 50,000, you are above your debt service ratio and they're not giving you any money. Mm-hmm. That's why some of you overseas have been turned down for loans. And some of you they've told you have to cancel that loan. You have to close that credit card and so on. Because you're above your debt service ratio. The banks was at 50%. I think of late I've heard some banks have reduced that to 45 and 40%. So when you get a loan from the bank, ask them the debt service ratio. So you yourself can do a little quick maths and figure out if you qualify for the loan. So let's run through it again. Debt service ratio is what's important, first and foremost, even before interest rates, right? So you're getting $100 a month and the debt service ratio is 50%. They're saying $50 must be there to pay debt, to pay loans. So you're going to add your car loan, your mortgage loan, your whatever money you have to pay for your credit card every month. You add up those numbers monthly, the monthly payments. And if those monthly payments are over $50,
even if they're at $50,
if them at $50, you're not getting any more money.
Yeah, because if it's already at $50, you can't get the bank loan.
No. But let us say when you add it up, you only get $25. Then what the bank is saying, okay, so you have an extra, you have $25 still that can service a debt. So you would now get a loan equivalent to what $25 worth of his mortgage per month, right? So that $25 might equate to a $2 million loan where you're paying back $25 per month for the mortgage. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. If anybody wants me to explain it again, put it in the chat or ask me a question, follow-up question to it, or tell me that you understand.
I was looking at a couple persons' NHT letters yesterday, young persons, and the 3.5 from NHT is only $7,700 repayment for some persons.
Yeah.
I was like, look at that.
Look at that. And if you're even going to take the money.
Come back,
I'll make a pines, man. Join and find and stop the nonsense. Yeah, $7,000. Who can pay that? I could have got beg that every month. I never have to work for that. I don't have money for work for. $7,500.
Per month.
Per month. I mean, if I get serious, I could even walk and pick it up on the roadside. Because them the money they scatter, $20, the money they scatter already.
You know, I was walking my morning walk. It was a good day too. I walked and a little boy was in front of me. And his backpack was just shelling out money like a card machine. $500, $1,000, $50. Like,
so where the money there?
It's obviously his lunch money or whatever for the day or the week or whatever he's carrying.
Now, so you have to stop him.
Yeah, I had to stop and give him back the money because what happened is apparently they had some creative day at school because I noticed all the kids doing it. Everyone had to make a backpack or a school bag out of something that would not be a school bag. So his own was made out of, you know, that silver tray that you always see at restaurants and stuff that they used to put food in. Or he had that, so it looked like a little spaceship alien type backpack. And then I saw another little girl, hers was a pink dresser. So it was very creative. But apparently he didn't glue it up properly enough, so he kept dropping out his money. Currency says you can't do any addition from the NHT home improvement loan.
Yeah, not make one room. Can't put on the block and see, you can't put on a roof. Waste of time. Or maybe you can put on a front porch without walls.
Lucky says, I'm so late. Good morning.
Morning, Naku.
It's good to see that you're better, Miss Claudia.
Well, getting there, not quite there yet. Tony had to drag me out of the bed this morning, actually.
Because I'm actually here on location.
Because I am, well, you know, if you leave people up to their own device, the brain is a powerful thing. You know, you need the motivation and the, because when the brain starts to lapse, your body starts to lapse and shut down. So you need extra somebody to say, come, mommy, let's go. You know, get this going. Which you do for your kids too when you're younger, right?
Worse, I did already bed. Like, we were coming on live no matter what. Maybe bed at 4 o'clock, coming on TV. All right, so Kodash is saying NHT is into trying to say everyone need to save at least one home. Yes, that's what they're trying to say. You must have at least one home. First house. But that's what they are to mommy. They're into your first house.
No, they're not. They would have put in more infrastructure and sell people the land and let them do it.
Maybe they'll run upon your new idea. Sell the land and, you know, like that scheme that they have out in Olaba. What name of it?
Berkshire.
No, man. The one with the drive around when the goat gets stolen. What scheme name?
Colbeck Manor.
Colbeck. Whatever done anything with that?
Maybe they have. When we go out there, we can't see. Maybe they have. I don't know. They're languishing all along.
Yeah. Oh, here's another question. Control the melon. Says Miss D, couldn't I lease just a house spot on a 3 months basis or even a monthly basis, or does it have to be on a 6 months or year-to-year basis?
Well, you don't lease for 3 months. Depends.
These are long-term.
Lease are usually long-term, like a year, or maybe even 6 months.
But Control the Melon wants a house spot to lease to do it.
Is it the same farming? Or is it?
No, this is a different person. Before that was Hurricane Gilbert.
Oh. Control the Melon is the name.
Yeah.
So is it farming? What is it for?
It says house spot.
House spot? I mean house spot. You mean just the land? How you lease a house spot for 3 months? You're going to put on a board house or a house you can drive away? Could be. Tony thought of that idea years ago, but we just never executed.
Currency says, any update on Ecosted and also Riverstead?
Well, Ecosted, well, we have everything now. We have the approvals. What we don't have yet is the funding. So that's the next stage. So we know we have got
You're in the estimate stage.
and we're at the estimate stage still. So we're at the estimate stage still. So we're still gathering estimates to get it finally down to a T. That is a tedious process. So I've been at that for about 6 months now. What we need to condense the estimation so that we know how much funding we need.
But I don't get it though. Why estimates are so arbitrary?
Not arbitrary, it's a science. You have the blueprint, the map, so to speak. So you have to go through it and pull out the quantities. Quantities are there, it's an exact science.
Yeah, yes, it's an exact science. But I feel like Jamaica should be at a stage where all estimates look the same in terms of layout.
Well, it is, but what's different is the rates. So it is 10 bags of cement to do this concrete sidewalk. What is the rate? So this contractor going to charge you 100, this man charge you $1,000. That's the variance that you're working with. So you have to figure out, do I give this man $100? Can he really do this job at $100? Or is this man at $1,000 way over the top, ridiculous? Want too much profit off of the 10 bag of cement? That's the kind of balancing that you have to do with these estimates. And that's where the work is. Because if you miss,
but you have to be checking, make sure it's all accurate too.
Yeah, you have to check measurements first. So once
because has this person overestimated your materials?
Yeah. So you have to
underestimate.
Right. Is the length of the road really 100 meters or is it 1,000 meters? You understand? Because that impacts how much asphalt and how much this is gonna come to do this thing, right? But it is a science. It's everything on a site, everything on a building can be measured. Every single thing.
Which is why I feel like it should be standard. There should be like some thing, I don't know, that you go into.
But it's estimation.
You put in your quantities as a developer or whatever. Or whoever does it, your quantity survey.
But you can put the teams in programs and get the quantity.
Right, and then
you still have to check
your contractor, whoever, goes into the said program, put in his rates or whatever, and it spits out 3, 4, 5 estimates. So you can say, okay, because you know your quantities are correct. Instead of each of them trying to work out your quantities.
Yeah, but why you do that too? Why you do that too? Because you want to compare quantities. You want to make sure you have the right quantities. So if they're doing the quantities manually, which I suspect most of them do. If you're doing the quantities manually, this man comes and need 3,000 square foot aside, or the man comes and need 4,000 square foot, the man says need 10,000 square foot. I say, hey, Jennifer, what's going on here? Somebody quantity wrong. Whose quantity is wrong?
Yeah, but I'm saying by now we should have a technology that knows the quantities.
You do have a technology that knows the quantities. Just that Jamaica is a third world country. Everything is manual.
No, man, we need to get over that. Because looking at the quantities is giving me a headache.
Yeah, but you not looking at quantities in detail like me. I'm looking at them in detail.
The mere fact that I have to read it to print it, I looking at it too long.
Tony, maths and you is not your strong suit.
No.
So from it have numbers on it, you want to run from it anyway.
Which is why I think we need a computer system that it tells me my quantities and then my contractors just
Tony,
put their numbers.
Yeah, but you can't rely. You can't rely on the computer system alone. You still have to know, how do I calculate a sidewalk, a concrete sidewalk? So if this sidewalk is 3 feet in width, the depth of it is 4 inches, and the run foot is 1,000 meters. And we're doing everything in meters here. So now we're doing everything in
meters.
All right, if we go with meters, then I have to go with mm for the depth. So I'm going to go with mm for the depth. So 6 inches in mm is 150 mm. So it would be 150 mm, right? Times the width, which is 3 feet, which is 900 mm. Which if I'm doing the whole length of the sidewalk, that would be meters now, that would be a bigger number. So let us say that is 100 meters. So you convert back 100 meters to mm, or you convert mm to meters. And then you do that math. So you want to know how much concrete in that, you have to multiply the width by the depth or height, by the length, You divide it by 27, you're going to get square yards. But you have to know that if you divide by 27, it's square yards, so you have to go in a feet in the first instance. So you see, if you're in a mm, then it's a different calculation.
I barely learned imperial. I still can't think in metric.
In metric, right. So therefore, but the good thing is that you have Google. So Google can do those conversions very easily, right? So if you look at everything and you say, okay, how much MMA, drop it in a Google, it will be in a feet, and you can do your calculations. All of that might be you doing that. So what I do, I kind of spot check. So I look at this estimate, and the man said, oh, I need this concrete, the thing. I'll go back to my blueprint. I'm gonna say, how much running foot a sidewalk? One of the blueprints is gonna give me the running foot of the whole road and all of that, one of the pages. So I'll do a quick maths and add it up, and I'll do a quick maths and I'll say, okay, yeah, I'm within reason, I'll move on. But it's a tedious process. And then you have to make sure too that with estimates, I don't leave off anything. That's my thing with quantity surveyors. I always leaving off something. The first house that I built, the man left off the first deck.
Which was not using that program.
Yeah, which was a problem because when the contractor run out of money, you wonder why is he run out of money? And then when you check, you realize, hell, the man never cost the second deck. So this deck that cost $1 million is not an estimate. and no, that's a problem, right? So I have to check. So the team, and it's not me alone checking. So the team has to check that we have the right quantity. If we need, so we have a bridge. This bridge will need a real basic thing when you can't see above ground. Is the rail on the estimate? Make sure it's there. It's gonna need a water tank. Did we add in a water tank for the estimate? You need a wall around it. Do we have that on the estimate? Those things. Because if you leave out, just imagine any little piece of this thing where you need retaining walls and all of that. If you leave out that out of your estimate, man, oh man, you can't finish the infrastructure works. And then you have to have contingency. You have things like rain come and wash out everything that you don't have to start over. Right? So you have time. So if you're supposed to do this in a 1 year, you take 2-3 years. Inflation come in. Or so a simple thing like shortage of cement come in. You can't finish the work. And the shortage of cement. When that time, you know where come next in a price increase. So that's why tedious. It take us a little while, but we have to get it right before we get in.
Control Lemon is saying yearly lease is too long. It's usually a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm. But then I can't take it if it's a little bit of money yearly lease. Use it for 3 months and then you move on.
I'm wondering, Control Lemon owns a property. I want
to lease it
to make it more profitable.
So you can go with month to month if you want. Month to month, but that's rent now we're talking about. So you can rent land too, just rent it.
Cheryl says, good morning, ladies. Good to see you ladies this morning. Welcome back. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Winston says, truth. Monica says, I think the government has the right to control the time that Jamaicans overseas are given. First priority should be given to locals. We have a housing shortage here in Toronto.
Ontario.
Right.
Why is there a housing shortage in Ontario?
Well, they have a lot of immigration there as well.
Is it housing shortage for price houses? The price? And a certain price point? And why you create shortage? If you create shortage, you're going to have houses price escalation. Which is what has happened in Jamaica. You have a shortage. You have scarcity, so more people running down the same goods. So you're gonna have price escalation. So because the government not putting in infrastructure, selling people lots so them can go build them house, then they're running down houses on the open market. And that's why you have this crunch when the prices going up and up and up because we have so many persons trying to get through the one door, right? And the price go up. So government is responsible for policy direction. So government should be able to say 10,000 baby did born in 1990, how long? All of them people that grow up now are not gonna be 20 and 25 and they're gonna get married and this and we predict how many houses you're gonna need or set up structures and systems where you'll say, your father have a house, your mother have a house already, you can take the 7.5, not 3.5, which is rubbish. Take the 7.5 and add a studio to your mother's house and you live, that's where you live. Or and this is another thing. We keep talking about, oh, you only need to build one house on the land, one house on the land. Oh, look at that foolishness, bro.
Who said that?
Some titles say that. So you're on a half acre of land. Your mother has built on less than 1/8 of this land because she just built a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house. You have the whole of the rest of the land, big old land, full of bush and sitting. And you're saying, oh, your title says only one house, so you can't. Why the child? Why Tony and can't get her 7.5 and go build a studio house on that land? Why she can't do it? Well, stop that. So, again, policy, government is to direct and government is to set policy. Government must have, I can't say government must have foresight, but you must have some kind of a vision in your brain as to what. Plus, government have all the statistics. You have all the statistics, you know when the baby born, you know all these things.
They know we're gonna have a housing shortage.
Yeah, you know, but are you really creating this housing shortage deliberately so that, oh, me already own some house, so my price and my properties will go
I don't think they're doing that. I think our governments have just been lazy in development.
Yeah, and the governments are reactive. They're reactive. Instead of being proactive, they're being reactive, right? I don't think you should discriminate against who lives overseas from who don't live here. Same benefits. Just use the benefits, right? You're contributing into the system just the same. So whatever the contribution is, plus them contribute more to kind of earn more than us. So it's like you're using them to subsidize us. Why are you doing that?
Or maybe it's a deterrent. Maybe they want them to take the bank loan. I don't know.
So don't make them contribute none at all. Make them go take the bank loan. You don't need to make them contribute if you're gonna discriminate. Come on.
You clearly never worked in government before.
No, and I would never. Let me tell you, from me born, me know me now work with government.
When people at government offices sit at a table and they're making a decision policy-wise, they have to say, okay, what's the minimum we can do here so that there's no riot? That's basically what the decision is.
No, man. For them thinking is, let me tell you for them thinking on the table. Claudia, remember we have limited resources. Our resources are not infinite. We have limited resources. So we have to think about the least that we can do. Very bare minimum. Because we have minimum resources here. And for them thinking, remember that.
Well, our prime minister can't say that because after government right around the board got so much pay increase, they better be doing some work for all that money we're now giving them.
And them better have some house to sell the people them now. Can you get them pay increase? Them can't afford. That's a dollar thing. They should have figured out that pay increase is going to be inflationary too.
Yeah.
That pay increase, you give people much millions in their bank account, them are going to spend it. So that's going to help drive up prices. Right? And that's another thing. You have starved out these people for how much years, not giving a pay increase and all of that. The pay increase should be given every year, incremental every year, not wait for 10 years to pass and then you dump a whole chunk of money into the economy. That is going to be inflationary, guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be inflationary. So all of that is part and parcel of
I feel like government pay increases, though, should be based on performance. What? Because sometimes I go into these government places, I'm like, why are you wasting my money? You're not giving me any service.
Yeah. And you have to be escalating and going up the line. But you know,
or you're waiting forever and you're like, but look how much people in here working. So what is everybody doing? Why I can't get through?
But you know, somebody asked me about River State. So Riverside, we're looking at a property in St. Anne. So I'm having to do the background checks here now. And I did call a government agency, which was NEPA. The day we were trying to call, the NEPA lines were down, but we got through to the 1888 something number,
toll-free
number. And a young lady was supposed to call us back. I need to ask her how she managed to get to me, but I had to go into the office now this time. I said, where's the map? I need to check because I'm trying to check zoning.
You know how she managed to get you back?
I'm trying to remember if she did answer the 188 number and did the checks. I don't remember. That's what I need to establish. I'm going to call her and ask her. Because I did go into the office because the numbers weren't working. I did go into the office. I spoke to the gentleman. I said, I need to buy the development order book, which is where the maps are. But then, lo and behold, them do it at the same time. So I said, why not paste up the map all about the place so we can just come in and look on the map?
I have a digital one on the website.
You know?
That way you can just do the work once.
Yeah, and we can't see on my decks. Of course, nobody not think about that. Them just come to the work how it is and them not use them brain. I guess government not pay them enough use them brain. Anyway.
What are you talking about? Government get them pay increase. No, it's the time they're supposed to use their brain.
So, anyway, I'm check this out. Then we go there and send me to the next place and then probably check this out. I said, we can't find it. He tried to help me still, but they never have it from the system. And we looked at it and said, oh, da. So, lo and behold, a young lady called me back from Nepal. And she did give me the zoning. She did give it to me. She gave me the zoning. Plus, I asked her for some other information. And she did go and research it. And she did call me back. Can I tell you? She did.
It's you.
She's a young girl, I'm saying. All this time I'm talking to her, I'm saying, wow. Somebody from a government agency actually called me back. But I tell you, that young lady, thank you for calling me back. I'm trying to remember her name. Oh, I don't know. I think her name was Naz. Anyways. One of them new order name. Not Elizabeth or something like that. I think it's Naz. She memory served me. Good job. She did call me back. And she told me which part of NEPA I'm to write to ask for further things if I needed it. Because I do need some further things before I can finalize and say this is it. So apart from us looking at a land, I said, yes, you love it and all of that. You have to do some background checks on the zoning because you don't want to run into people like Ministry of Agriculture who's telling you, oh, the land is 40 acres. This is agriculture property.
And only put cows on it.
Yeah. And then don't you have to war with them now and say, hey, but you know, this can't farm pan. You know, so it healing. You know, see this, you know, see that. Nah. So, you don't want to argue with them, right? But there's a clause in the development order that just cancels them out of your system. So, if you're having any problem with them, let me know. I'll tell you, send it to the class and use the class upon them, right? Because they have a tendency, if it's a big parcel, automatic agriculture land, right? So you have to check the zoning.
Or runoff land.
Yeah, you have to check the zoning, right? You check the zoning to make sure that this thing don't say agriculture. As long as it don't say agriculture, you're all right. If it's whatever, you can now negotiate your way around them. But the agriculture people tough. They want to keep every land in a farmland. There's nobody not doing no farming, right? But just them kind of a point. We can't use up all our lands for residential. But I think we have missed the boat on that. Because quite frankly, your farm belts should be on the flat plains. And the people should live in the hills. But we have it the opposite way. We have put people to live on the farm plains. So a lot of our plains that could have been proper farming belts. Like even sugar lands, people had cut up sugar, like even the Portmore there. The back road at Phoenix and so on. And it's good farmland. Them cut up now and put in houses on. So
they weren't doing any farming anyway.
They weren't doing any farming, but may I say, why Ministry of Agriculture never fight for that?
Ministry of Agriculture don't really fight for what they need to be fighting for.
I never fight for the farmland.
I have a pet peeve with that ministry.
Yeah.
On a whole.
So the thing is, we should have put people to live in the hills, right? And farm the plains. But the horse gone through the gate with that already, as you know. Most of us live on the coastline. Most of our housing schemes are on the coastline. So that alone.
The only way we want to go up in the hills and we want sea view.
And we don't want to go too far up in the hills neither. Remember me tell you. So the thing is that we missed the boat on that. But you have to check the zoning. So when I find a piece of property, I have to check my zoning. I have to check if a couple things you have to check. You have to check this thing up in the forest. I have a next company name now, Forestry Department. Them now I come tell you now. So listen, you are touch a forest reserve, you know. So you're a piece of land in the forest reserve, so you can't do no subdivision, nothing. Man, them now back down on that, cause for the trees, we need to preserve the trees.
Oh, we need oxygen. You have to preserve the trees.
And we need, oh yes, environmental people. Then the other people we have to deal with now, water resources, what them call themselves? Water Resources Authority. What's that name? Them people that know the watershed people. So make sure you're not abandoning land on the watershed are a peer problem. So like if rivers coming through, and so like Riverstead wants land with a river. But again, no, we have to be careful which river land we buy, because all river land are equal enough. If you have a big river around the side, remember me tell you, you have problems to get any housing on the land. Mm-hmm. Because the first problem you have is your sewage disposal. Can't contaminate the river, right? Can't contaminate, and if you have a well, like the property we're looking at have a well, talk about aquifer, and oh my God, the groundwater. And you have a next problem there. So again now. So first of all, you have to find a way to show them how you're gonna mitigate against that. Like with river, might have to send the 4 acres around the river will not be any housing or anything like that. There will be a natural barrier, natural whatever. We're going to use it for farming or something like that. So them love farming. Them not stopping with farming. But definitely housing developments, because they know how big housing schemes beside rivers will contaminate it. That's for sure. People garbage and all these things gone on the river problem.
All right, Mommy, quickly, 5 minutes.
5 minutes? You have more questions?
Yes. Duncan wants to know, can overseas voluntary contributions be refunded?
That I don't know. But it should be refunded under normal circumstances. Yeah. I don't see why not.
Hurricane Gilbert says, so if my income is above the 30K per month threshold, but all I need from the NHT is 5 million, would my interest rate be different to what it would be if my income was below 30K?
Yes. Interest rates start from 0 to 5%. Over a certain income bracket, you pay 5%, yes. Under a certain income bracket, you pay from 4% downward. So some persons get their interest rates at 0. I suspect it's those that are earned like 30,000.
Lexi G says, that expected scheme in Colbert Castle is all in bushes.
Oh my gosh. Still.
Yeah.
You see, our resources are wasted. Yet, Chemtech came there, build a whole housing scheme, finish build it, sell it off, hand over the keys, and gone. And you're telling me the scheme that started before by NHT is still sitting in bushes. Right. What I'm talking about. Not as if we don't have the resources, we have it. It's a mismanagement.
Currency says standard calculations with a plus minus up to 20% are a set rate for inflation. This will curtail the huge discretion from the contractor or to the other. Oh wait, it protects the consumers, so that won't.
What? Say that again. Standard calculation with a plus minus of the 20% and a set rate for inflation, etc. This will curtail the huge discretion from one country to another. Oh wait, it protects consumers. Part of that too is because we can't have fixed rates. Each person is allowed here in Jamaica to choose to do their own rates and determine what they want to charge, and they hope that the market forces will balance that out.
Currency is saying having this set standardized for makes it less likely for them to forget certain items.
True.
Yes, it does.
But you see, they're not using any software. That's some problem.
Kevin says, not everyone wants to build on family land. If they have an issue, what will happen? Right? No, Mom was just saying that just an option for someone who wants to do it.
If you want to do it.
Yeah.
You want to do it. So, like, if I was in that position, I don't have a problem with Richard put the pearls, Tony put the pearls, and put the pearls there. Matter of fact, Tony has been saying we need to buy a 5-acre land and do just that for ourselves.
Even 1 acre could work, Mom.
Even 1 acre. Although you have 1 acre land somewhere already, you never do that. Mm-hmm.
No. You subdivided it. And sold it. So no, there's no 1 acre sitting down. One Ham says, part 1C to the dead left. I forgot to ask, what is the process if the purchase was already made?
Oh no.
Land was bought from an heir with the original diagram in the father's name.
The heir is still alive. The heir is still alive. Get the heir to get the 2 persons who know the land and all of that. The heir is still alive, and you put it in with your receipt to show that you purchased the land and the diagram. Go on to the Geoland website. They outline all the things that you need, which is not a lot. You seem to have all of them already. It's just that for the affidavit, I would make sure that the person who sell me the land have them 2 affidavit there in place. Those 2 persons in place.
Monica says, immigration and not enough planning, but they open up Ontario for business. We have a lot of international students that are renting or purchasing properties.
Right. So on the one hand, they're recruiting. That's what Canada does. They recruit people. So you're in a school and you're recruiting people. You don't have enough classrooms. You don't have enough teachers. You don't have enough desks and bench. That's what's happening. That's all that's happening. They're recruiting, and the recruiting is so good. Canada does such a good job of recruiting. But they have not put in infrastructure to house these people. Nobody forward thought that where these people going to stay, what they're going to do. But in Jamaica, we need a different model for our, in terms of buildings for people. In the past, 1/4 acre, 1/2 acre, 1 acre, everybody depend big land and big land cut up and so on. But families have gotten smaller too, right? We find that families don't want to even live together. They don't want to live with their mother and their father, sister, brother, whatever. So
not only that, that families have gotten smaller, families have gotten very singular. A lot of persons who came to the NHT yesterday, they were all by their lonesome. Like
them alone.
Wow.
It was that much?
Yeah, just by themselves. Living life by themselves.
Yeah. So we need to create solutions like that as well. Where one person can just have them little house and then cool with that. So as I said, Tony said, families have gotten singular. So we need to make the plot size is smaller and neater, so that persons can have their home, and they want to be singular, fine, but they still can call the neighbor next door, and they can afford that, and that's what it is. All right, that's what we need to get to. And because we love dealing with block and steel, is there an alternative block and steel that makes sense? I haven't found that yet, really. Because if you're 20 and you're building a studio house, and you may live in it for 50 years, block and steel are going to withstand that too. Any other material are going to mash up, or are going to take bully for maintenance.
But you know what I noticed? Like addition to properties is not that common anymore.
No.
Once you build it, that is it. You really don't add anything more to it.
Yeah.
Because even the community that we live in, people are doing additions. It's just those who build in their first
house.
doing construction. There's hardly anybody doing an addition to the property.
Yeah. So that kind of slow down.
So even the other scheme that I live in, you hardly see any additions. On my road alone, there's like 0 additions.
Yeah.
It's just a single house.
The single house, and those were just 1-bedroom houses.
Yeah.
So we need to get, and even those 1-bedroom houses and too much land.
Too much land.
Way too much land.
I mean, when I look how far I have to walk to go to the clothesline,
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm saying, who on earth designed this? And then the parish council. So again, government needs to lead. Government is the one who's saying, hello, lot sizes has to be a minimum of 3,000 square feet. Really? Why it has to be minimum of 3,000 square feet? Why can't it be 2,000 square feet? Why? What? Them can't even cut the grass. Right now, Tony, I complain about cut grass. People that come to her cut the grass, I do them excuse. The land too big. That's the truth. It's just too much.
And the thing is, I don't go in the backyard.
It's just too much, guys. If you're single, you're alone, like Tony, as I said, singular. Tony not a singular prostitute now. Like she tell them, she's not a singular prostitute. She'll come and say, oh, she get tired of the singular. I'm going to come socialize with my mother and sister. And then we're still holding our bed here, so she can't come sit beside her. But the thing is that the singular posse, you really have to pay attention to those people. And they're both male and female, right?
Yeah, both male and female.
Right. So the government, you have to understand this is the direction that's going in. And the thing is too, you would think, I could build some high-rise for those people. But that's only in St. Andrew. You don't need to build high-rise out in the Clarendon and St. Catherine and so on to house those people. You can still give them a studio house on a smaller plot of land. Consider that. Change the policy inside of government that governs the plot size and all of that. As I've been reading the development on.
And the truth is, people who want big land, go and buy big land. People who want small land, go and buy small land.
Yeah. And even if them can afford big land, they may still just buy small land.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember seniors too. Seniors, we don't want no big house for the clean and this and that. We don't. Really.
No, like I had a couple come to me about Palmetto Pine. My husband's like, I want 6,000 square feet. And the wife's like, why? So I can go outside. And he's like, why? To go and sit in the backyard and plant some trees. And then she says to him, but we live with my mom now on 1/4 acre. You don't go outside. You don't go outside.
It's probably because he thinks the backyard belongs to the grandma.
Must be.
That's the mother backyard.
Like, you don't go outside. But the truth is, people hardly go outside.
Yeah, I hardly go outside. I mean, can't count on like somebody was saying to me, we're talking about heat. I mean, I said heat. So hold on. What do you think of it? I couldn't last me really sweating up. It's not like I'm wearing up and no or anything. You're the person to me. Wow, you're a privileged man. Yeah. So I'm think about it. I'm either in an AC. So I'm in my car, the AC run the whole time. My window not going down because I don't like bees and wasps and things flying into my car, right? So I'm on the AC all day. For worse, if I'm driving all these distances, AC. And when I get into my house, depending on which house I'm at, maybe the AC or the fan. I'm always cool, right? So you're privileged, man. You're privileged. No, I'm in a no, I need to go sweat out some other salt out of my body.
But I just think about it, Mommy, a Camelot backyard. You've been around there, what, twice this year? And the 2 times you go around there is to what, pick some cherries.
And that is because I look through the window and I said, cherry, and I go around. I don't go around there. I'm supposed to go. I planted cherry, some sweet sauce.
There's a mango,
lime.
There's no mango
and cherry. 5 things around there, no man. The mango is here, sitting on my porch, getting big, and I don't have nowhere to plant it. So I'm thinking, yeah, man, plant them fruit tree around the sun. And actually, the fruit trees aren't even mine. They were for another client whose house I was doing, but she wasn't ready to put it in because she had some other construction to do. I said, damn, them something I go, did in them patch because they might get too big. So that's why I decided to plant them at the back of coming up. But I'm supposed to fertilize the things. One little time put little fertilizer, that's how the cherry came. In such abundance. But the rest of the tree them resist the fertilizer. And them plant come like a rock stone anyway. Well, it's tough man. Not go good this up. But may I try with them. But may I say the backyard thing, the farming thing, not really work for me. Right now.
Lexi says the big wig capitalized on housing shortage by building apartments and selling them very expensive. Ministry of Housing lacks vision. CD says good morning, and Zana Sekou says good morning. Never know the life is morning time. One Ham says, can I be a part of Riverstead still?
Yes. WhatsApp me. By the way, some persons WhatsApp me in my sick period on my phone there, and I couldn't handle it. But send me the message. You have to join Telegram first. Join Telegram, then say hi to me on Telegram that you want to be a part of the Riverstead group. Say hi to me.
Right. Zana K says, may I rush to go church? Have a good service,
Zana K.
Corin says, Tony, in the US, almost all jobs are performance-based, even at college level. Not because you have the highest degree, mean you can teach or perform your job.
Exactly. That's how it should be. But people come join Riverstead.
People come join Riverstead, buy your land and take your time and build with trusted people. You don't have to fight with NHT or buy on the free market. At minimum, you can land bank. Yes. Devon says, can you build a house on an agricultural land?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. It's going to go in the farmstead.
Yeah,
turn into a farmstead.
You can buy a farm. You can build a farmhouse. You can build a house. Yeah, you can build a house to live on it.
The problem comes in building multiple houses.
Yeah.
Like turning it into a schema development.
Right. But you can build multiple houses. You can have the farmhand house. You can have the manager for the farmhouse. You can have the man who rear the chicken house, and you can do all of that. It's just that when you come to do a proper subdivision with roads and this and that, that's when it becomes a problem.
Matt says, what if your contractor demands 10% cost overrun if the job took 2 years and contract was for 4 months and he got all the money on time? Why the job took 2 years? His fault or
COVID? I don't know. That looks so like a court thing.
Yeah.
Or go back into your contract that you signed and see what it says about that.
Matt says, plus the finished work has plenty of cracks. Pointed out to him at handover. The contractor does box and cast. We see Catherine.
Oh. Is it some cracks are expected, that's hairline cracks. Those you can fix easily, yeah. You should be able to fix those easily. If you have structural cracks, that's a problem.
Matt says the contractor now filed for bankruptcy and operating as a new company with minor changes to name and brother's name on paperwork.
Yeah, we can record.
Yeah. Contractor said he lost big time from my house. I told him it's because of labor costs associated with the time he took to complete the job.
Okay.
Yeah. But if the job take 4 months, why I'm taking 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue.
That's the issue.
All right, no more questions. Looks like we're finished.
Good. On time. No overtime. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to seeing you next week. Tony, remind me to find a conveyance document so that my phone died, so that I can display it next week and show them what it looks like.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
All right. Bye everyone.
Have a good week.